In this video, I have an assignment for you, and that is to write a test for the vet controller, specifically the list vets method. Now, for this assignment, you're going to need to create a new test, a new JUnit test. And what we want to do is test that list vets method. And we want to verify the return value for the view name. So that method is going to return back a string. So we want to make sure that is happening. And we have a vet map service, so a simple map persistence or using a hash map. The implementation is already there, but we want to be able to use that. And in our test, we want to set things up and add 2 or more vets in there so we actually have a list coming back from it. Now, the controller, our little mock controller there, is expecting a model. We have the interface, but we do not have an implementation. So we're going to need to create an implementation for that. And then also, we want to verify that value, that list value, is added to the model object. And this is an important step there. And so you're going to have to create some type of object. And I'll give you a hint. You probably want to use a hash map underneath to represent that model. So you're going to be responsible to create that implementation. And what we're doing in this, I'm showing you how to set up a test, but we are going to implement I'm using air quotes, mock. So we're going to write our own mock. Later in the course, we're going to get into Mockito and get further into the mocking. But for here, we're going to do everything manually. Now, I'm going to jump over to IntelliJ right now and take a closer look at that controller so we can see what's going on there. So this class here, this is mimicking a Spring MVC controller. Obviously, all the Spring stuff is out of there. But what we have is a method called listVets that returns a string and takes in a model. Now, that model you can see here, simple application here. We have two implementations that we want to use. So we have add attribute, a string, and an object, and we can see that is what's being used. So we want to be able to implement that at a minimal. Now, to do so, I'm going to say do some type of map implementation. So think through what we need to test on this. So we are going to bring up a controller. That controller needs a vet service. And we do have our vet map service. So it implements that interface of vet service so we can create that. And what I would say, you want to create a JUnit test in the setup method. You want to wire up your controller with an implementation of the vet map service. So let's come back over here. So you need to satisfy the constructor there to take in a map service or vet map service. And then in your test, you are going to have to create a model object and pass that into list vets. And that's going to return back a string. And you want to make sure that string is matching that. So what I'd like you to do is think through everything that you've learned in this section, take a closer look at that, and attempt to go in and complete this. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go through this step by step, so don't worry if you're a little uncomfortable, no problem. We will tackle this assignment step by step in the next video.